the worst who did the worst. And we're back with a very eventful day on the witness stand. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your number one source for everything Diddy drama. I've already shared with you 2 videos today about the latest developments. Watch those to be fully caught up. But let us resume with Capricorn Clark's testimony, his former assistant who is speaking to the jury in the racketeering, trafficking, and prostitution trial against him. The disgraced music mogul's former assistant claims that not only was it her job to set up his hotel rooms and the freak-offs for him, but that she would also regularly go get his drugs for him. She testified that he would use Molly, ecstasy, regularly, as well as prescription medication throughout the week, and that his drug use increased over time. Capricorn said that a man called One Stop usually provided the drugs when they were in Los Angeles, and the drugs usually were delivered to her or to Diddy directly. He asked her to go get him ecstasy fewer than 10 times, she said. She also testified that she saw him offer drugs to his friends and girlfriends. During a trip to France in 2006, Diddy asked her to get him some coca. The sniffing kind. Capricorn then testified she had his security guards go and do it instead. Clark also would go get prescriptions for Diddy. Sometimes the prescriptions were made out to her, and other times they were made out to Combs, she testified. Clark testified that Diddy fired her for allegedly failing to inform him that Cassie was dating Kid Cudi. Combs had questioned Clark about how much she knew regarding Cassie and Cudi's relationship. He was angry and upset, wanting to know when Clark knew about the pair and why she didn't tell him. Combs told her, "I should kill you bitches." When he fired her in 2012, Diddy told her, "I would never work again, and all these people weren't my friends, and he would make me kill myself." During cross-examination, Diddy's lawyers presented into evidence some very interesting text messages that his former assistant sent him in 2021. Capricorn said, "Totally unrelated to our current conversation, but did you know I had the biggest crush on you before I first started working for you? When we hung out all the time, I played it super cool. I couldn't tell if it was mutual. I just know for sure you liked to have me around. Sometimes I wonder if we misused all that dope chemistry. It was super fun back then. We called you Chalk, short for chocolate. Great memories." Super fun back then, she told him in 2021. And today, on the stand, she is saying something very different. That is what the defense wanted to point out to the jury. As for why she went back to work for Diddy after he fired her, she claims that she was unable to get work after he fired her. So she needed the money. And it was revealed that as recently as last year, Capricorn was in talks to go back to work for Diddy. And Clark also testified that contrary to what the prosecution is trying to allege, Diddy did try and make Cassie a star. Quote, "She got a considerable amount of support. The lion's share of Bad Boy was on Cassie at that time." Clark testified that in 2012, arson investigators reached out to her asking her to make a statement about Kid Cudi's vehicle, and she said she hung up the phone and did not want to provide a statement. "I wanted this whole thing to be over," she testified. Capricorn also testified that when she returned to work for Diddy in 2016 as Cassie's creative director, quote, her drug use was preventing her from the opportunities that were before us. During cross-examination, Capricorn told the court that after she called Cassie to let her know that Diddy broke into Kid Cudi's home, Combs got into the car and left the residence. They were driving away from the home when Diddy spotted Kid Cudi traveling in the other direction. Combs then chased Cudi in the vehicle until he heard sirens headed in the direction of Kid Cudi's home. So instead, Diddy just left and went to a club. A club. Capricorn also testified that the longer Cassie dated Diddy, the more bravado she got. Quote, she went from being a sweet model to a feisty girlfriend. Speaking of Cassie, by the way, today she was taken to a New York City hospital where, by the time you're watching this, she might have already given birth after going into labor today. One of the other reasons that Capricorn went back to work for Diddy, she testified, this is my whole life and their shenanigans. I have no parents. My son has autism. He's nonverbal. My stakes are higher. I needed his help so I could take care of my son. Oh my God. She also testified that after she was fired in 2012, she called music mogul Jimmy Iovine. She said, I made a couple calls. Jimmy Iovine called me. He told me to come by. When I got there, it wasn't about job opportunities. He was there to tell me to leave Puff alone, and it wasn't going to end well for me. On redirect from the prosecution, Capricorn testified that when Diddy went barging at her apartment to go and confront Kid Cudi and Cassie, he was carrying a gun. The prosecutor asked, and the gun was visible to you? Steiner asked. Yes, Clark replied. Further telling the court she feared at the time if she did not oblige Combs's demands, I would be hurt. Capricorn was asked what she was doing in August of 2012. She said, I was on vacation with Rihanna. Then she wasn't asked any further questions about that trip. Maybe we'll hear more from her about that later. Clark also reiterated that she felt blacklisted after Diddy fired her. At this level of business, he holds all the power as it related to me, she told the jury. And we're actually not going to hear more from Capricorn Clark. She just rapped. No more. She's off the stand. Tomorrow, the prosecution intends to call an LAPD officer, an LA Fire Department officer, Deontay Nash, and a woman called Mia, who is one of Diddy's former assistants and an alleged victim. That's a lot of people tomorrow. Ay, ay, ay. Additionally, a new report claims that Diddy has been making millions since he was incarcerated by renting out his private jet. Diddy's Gulfstream G550, registered to his company Love Air LLC, has been rented out at least 126 times since his arrest last September, making him at least $4.1 million. Well, he's got a lot of legal bills, so that'll help for that. And this is everything for now until tomorrow. So, we've covered a lot of ground in this video. Let's discuss it all in the comments section.